My name is Audrey Leese, and I chose to do my presentation on the Thinking Outside the Box on page 17, featuring Elizabeth Cady Stanton. Mrs. Stanton was a social activist and leader in the early women's rights movement. And even though she was anti-slavery, she refused to support the 15th Amendment because it extended voting rights to Black men, but not women. The 15th Amendment did pass as it was, and women wouldn't get the right to vote for another 50 years afterward, but Elizabeth never gave up on her pursuit for equality for women. She was a pioneer for the rights that we have today. She kept good company with friends like Lucretia Mott and Susan B. Anthony, who were also women's rights activists. So, why should we surround ourselves with skilled critical thinkers? Well, first off, we're going to be able to trust their input. We're going to be able to trust that that input has value. Somebody who is a skilled critical thinker isn't going to throw caution to the wind. They're not going to be irrational or over emotional. They're going to put time and thought into whatever they're contributing, and that's going to be valuable. Also, it's always a good idea to have another perspective. We can't always see everything, especially when we're stuck in a situation, we're at the center of it. Having anybody with an outside perspective is a good idea. And if that person is a skilled critical thinker, it's going to be even better. Also, surrounding ourselves with these kind of people is going to help us improve our own critical thinking skills. We're going to be around people that challenge our thinking, and that's going to lead to growth. So, it's a really good idea to surround ourselves with skilled critical thinkers. I thought that the President of the United States would be a prime example for this. He surrounds himself with the Vice President and 15 executive department heads, including the Department of Agriculture, Commerce, Education, Energy, Homeland Security, and Housing and Urban Development, among others. I guarantee these people didn't get into these positions without some pretty great critical thinking skills. Even if the president himself was the greatest critical thinker in the world, there's no way he'd be able to run all these different areas of our country without some help. He relies on these people to guide him and assist him in keeping our country operating smoothly and efficiently. I can only imagine the mess we'd be in if he didn't have them. How could I serve as a critical thinking mentor? Well, I have once already. During my first year at LCSC, I worked with the First Year Experience program as a peer mentor to college freshmen. During that time, I used my critical thinking skills to help the freshmen develop some of their critical thinking skills. All through the semester, we talked about different resources and different issues and challenges that freshmen face when they go into college, and I helped a lot of them work through some of those issues. And it wasn't always to do with school. It could have been with friends, with roommates, with families. There were a lot of different challenges that came up during that time, and I talked with them and I helped them work through a lot of those things, and that made me feel really good, and it was really rewarding. So that's one of the things that I have done already. Also, I am currently a foster parent, and I just recently got my foster license back so that I could have my niece come live with me. But it's something I was planning to do once I was finished with school anyways. I just got a little bit of a pushed into it a little bit earlier than I thought I was going to be. And the reason why I wanted to also is because I had my foster license for 4 years previous to me going back to school, and it was also a really rewarding experience. And I'm a mom of 2 boys, ages 6 and 3, and my niece is 9. And being a parent is really challenging, and it takes a lot of critical thinking skills. And I'm a single parent. I'm doing this on my own mostly. I can't say on my own completely because I do have some family support, and I'm very grateful for that. But I have a unique opportunity when I'm working with foster children and their families, to mentor them, both the kids and the families. I supervise visits with birth parents, and we discuss all kinds of parenting things and just life issues. And I'm not an expert, but I do try to learn with everything that happens in my life, and everything that I do, every mistake, or even the things that I do that I feel are right. I evaluate those things and analyze them and try to grow from them all. And so the things that I learn, I like to share with other people. And that's one opportunity that I've had that I feel like is it's really unique, and it's a really rewarding opportunity as well, to mentor children and parents in those situations. The other thing, just being a single mom and getting through school and everything, this blog world is pretty unfamiliar to me, but I've always thought about, all the things that have worked for me or all the things that have not worked for me, and how much I'd love to share it with other people and with other single moms or even single dads. And so I've thought about starting a blog before, and that might be something I do in the future when I'm done with school, and just to share my thoughts, my ideas, and maybe that could be an avenue for mentoring people as a critical thinker. And the other thing is just a friend. I have people that ask me questions about things that I've done, or opportunities, or how I've done this, or what I do in this situation. And for some reason, people just seem to come to me often with questions, or just to talk and share the things that they're going through. And so I think being a friend to people is a really good opportunity to mentor people in the critical thinking area, and helping them navigate the waters that they're going through. And I don't know the answers all the time, but sometimes I think I offer some valuable input. And so I think being a friend is probably one of the biggest areas that or the biggest opportunities that I have to mentor people with my critical thinking skills. Overcoming challenges to my personal goals. Well, I have to say the book wanted a specific example, and the biggest thing that comes to mind is with my ex-husband. I do come from a failed marriage, and one of the challenges in my marriage was that my goals were not supported. And that was really difficult for me because I'm a very goal-oriented person. And so that was my biggest challenge. I didn't feel like I could be myself or really flourish in that relationship. And since then, though, I have been working so hard to accomplish one of my biggest goals, which was to finish school. And I am so close. I'll be graduating in May, and it's been a long road, but there are some things I've learned. I've learned a lot about myself on that road, and how to accomplish my goals. And so prioritizing and staying focused is at the top of the list. I have to prioritize everything. Time is my most limited resource, and money, of course. And so I need to figure out what is the most important thing in my life. What do I need to put at the top and allocate most of my resources to? And of course, that's my kids first and foremost. And going to school is something I think I'm contributing to them too. But staying focused then on my priorities and my goals, I try to eliminate distractions as much as possible, whether it's Facebook, whether it's news, whether it's people that I know are really just distractions. Staying focused is a must in order for me to reach my goals, and I'm going to continue to stay focused. And next, I try to take my time with all of my decisions. I like to put a lot of thought into my decisions, because any parent would probably tell you that their decisions affect other people as well. And so I like to put a lot of time and thought into anything that I'm deciding upon, especially when it comes to my goals. I have to take into consideration how it's going to affect them. And journaling, I learned a little bit about journaling in one of my business classes, and it was talking more about professional journaling, but I think it would be just as useful in my personal life as in my professional life, and I haven't done any journaling personally or professionally yet, but I think that would be really wise to journal, just even if it's just short notes about things that I have done, what worked and what didn't work, and then taking time to look back and reflect. And I think also it would be really great motivation to write down my goals, and a year from now open up my journal and look at what my goals were for today, and be able to see, wow, I accomplished those goals. And I think that would help keep me motivated, and that would be a really great tool. Also, being a lifelong learner, I always want to be open to learning and growing, and open to new ideas and concepts and ways to improve my life or efficiencies. And I think that's going to help me overcome challenges in my goals too. Just learning is going to help with any aspect of life, and being open-minded is going to be valuable. Surround myself with good critical thinkers and wise people, of course, like Elizabeth Cady Stanton did. I think that the people that you surround yourself with are going to have a huge impact on your life, and those people need to be chosen wisely. And I try to do that. I really try to do that. I'm very selective about who I let influence my kids and who I let my kids around. And so I think that is my first goal or my first intention, but also with myself as well. I don't like to be around people that are negative, or people that are trying to bring me down or just distract me from what's most important in my life. So that is one of the most important things there as well.